So I just got finished recording the stream from Dead by Daylight, and they've been answering a few questions. They didn't get to answer a bunch of questions, and I'm sorry for the black screen. Don't have any other footage, so I just put black in the background and just let it go while I talk. Don't know if this is actually recording right now, but I hope it is. After this, I'm going to render this video and I'm going to put it on YouTube, but I hope you guys actually enjoy the stream.
Ah, cheese!
There we go.
All right. Hi, guys and girls and robot person. We're here at the Dead by Daylight official first Twitch Q&A ever. There will be many more, but for now, we'll change this.
Yeah.
Can you put the serious background, please?
I thought it was pretty good.
Better.
So, hi, people. Yeah, I looked there because that's where I can see what you're saying, people. But it's good to have you here in our salon.
Yeah.
I guess.
Around the presentation, I guess. Just
Yes, of
sure.
course. So, start.
Well, I'm Dave. I'm the lead designer on the project. That's it.
That's true.
That's all.
I'm Mathieu. I'm the producer.
And I'm Ash. I'm the creative director on the project.
So you've seen our faces. This is the first try. This is our first coming out. So we just picked some people who could be taken from the project for an hour. But in the next upcoming sessions, we'll have a few people that are more critical that can actually answer questions that we can't.
Yeah, because we probably won't answer any questions today.
We'll try.
We'll do our best.
We just make shit up. Okay. So let's. I'll start picking some questions, and then we'll try to answer them, and you guys can talk, and then I'll interrupt you rudely and say, no, answer that question instead.
Okay, well, let me interrupt you.
Yes,
first.
go.
So one question at the beginning, just before we started, is about the alpha players that can't buy the game right now.
True. So I am on this. We're working very closely with our friend Almir from Starbreeze, because they're our publishers, and with the people at Valve. We are figuring this out. It's a bit of a complex technical issue, but it should be resolved within, I'd say, I think I tweeted today something like 24 to 72 hours. That's what I'm expecting. We're doing everything we can. The final word on this is all people that have the alpha key right now will be able to purchase the game for sure. They will also be present during the beta. That is not an issue. So there. Question here: are you going to give away more alpha keys? So the alpha that's going on right now. We don't even know if there's going to be many more sessions, because we have about 2.5 weeks, maybe 3 weeks before the beta goes up. So I don't think we're going to have another wave of alpha invites.
No, I mean, I think that the alpha that we set up, we gave away about 3,000 keys right at the beginning. I mean, it was 1,000, then we gave a couple of thousand more, and that was great for getting us everything that we needed at the time. It got us a really good sample of players at a particular point. But then as we moved forward with the different iterations of the alpha, we ended up in a situation where we just needed a core group of people to play very specific features. And we were very much targeting individual changes to individual systems, and having a vast number of people wasn't really helping us. But the overall groups of people that we did have was incredibly useful. But now we're at a point where, with so few potential alpha weekends left, we don't want to necessarily ruin the potential of a big beta launch and what happens there. So the data that we're getting now is just really targeted for the people that have played the game before, and so that's sort of super important now. So I'm not sure we're going to get any more.
Controller support, yes, absolutely. We have full controller support. I think that was answered, but yes, absolutely.
Can't play the game without a controller, personally.
Raven something asked, Clyde, how are you doing? Clyde is doing well, I think. Will there be more than 3 maps? That's a very good question. So you want to talk about this?
Yeah, so it's a really hard one to call. There are definitely more than 3 maps. I mean, the way we've set up the game is that there'll be 3 what we call themes, which is 3 regions, 3 entire sets of landscape. Obviously, each level is procedurally generated to some extent. The idea is that you never know where you are when you start the game. So while there are certain set pieces that you'll recognize in each map, each one is procedurally generated. So really, there's to some degree almost endless amounts of maps, but they are laid out in a very specific way. I mean, Dave knows a little bit more about the level design, can talk about how we've gone about curating that experience.
But I don't think he can, because we have so many questions coming
Oh,
in.
well, there
There's
you
too
go.
many.
Time.
Yeah, one at a time. So can we create private lobbies for just friends? Yes, you can actually kill your friends.
By all means, kill your friends in a separate lobby.
Yeah. What else we got? I'm so excited about the release of this game. You and me both. Lily's a bitch.
Quiet.
Sure.
I mean, it's
Seems like I'll be talking about procedural levels while you're thinking
Yeah,
of
you know.
questions.
So find another question, and I'll
Okay.
tell how we curated the
Go,
levels,
please.
basically.
Yeah.
All right, so we use a tile system basically, and these tiles are arranged differently each time. We made sure that the layouts we use and how the tiles are placed and how the components inside the tiles are placed are it's procedural, right? So there's a set of rules so that the game is always balanced. That's critical for us. That nothing set randomly would break that balance between the killer and the 4 survivors.
there's a bunch of questions about the beta. How can you get into the beta? I want into the beta, things like that. So very quickly, the beta, anybody who's in the alpha right now will be in the beta, period. That's for sure. That's granted. As a thank you for helping us make the game. The other part, anybody who pre-orders the deluxe edition of the game right now is gonna get 3 keys. So one for them, well actually, yeah, no, it's one for them, they don't have a choice. And 2 others that they can give to friends or families or foes or whoever you want. So that's how you get into the beta. There's probably gonna be a few events, like for instance, we're gonna do a Twitch session and give out a bunch of keys, and we're gonna do a few things like that. But the safe way to get in is the pre-order of the deluxe edition, which is totally worth it. Someone said, oh, rip wallet. No, because it's actually ridiculously cheap.
And it is.
$20, seriously.
Yeah.
Good.
I want to answer that one.
Yeah?
So there's a question: will the game have co-op? So that's pretty interesting. Yeah, it's core to the game actually. So as the 4 survivors, you decide if you want to be cooperative or if you want to go as a lone wolf type of guy. Obviously, if you are actually, it's not obvious. Some strategies are better alone, and some strategies are better as a group. So yes, co-op is a fundamental part of the game.
Okay, so there's a question here about how did you get the idea for the game? That is a long answer,
Look,
for sure.
I'm chin stroking at the thought of that question already.
Well, we have that question, so do you want to talk a little bit about that? I know you had
Well,
written a little something. I mean, it's a long process, and it was a big conversation we've had about how we're gonna explain that or try to write the story. But a quick overview.
Yeah, I mean, we should go in more detail later, but basically, a lot of people at Behavior have been working on prototypes and concept around this idea for years. Actually, some of us have been on this type of game for 10 years. And I mean, right now, what is really cool with the technology that we have and access that we have to these technologies, it makes this kind of product possible to create. Like, we can now build the game that we want to play.
Yeah.
I mean, at its core, it's hide and seek. So it's not like it's a game that hasn't existed since the dawn of time. The ultimate asymmetrical.
I played it when I was 5,
Yeah,
6.
the ultimate asymmetrical game right from the dawn of time. So, like, you know, when we finally put it together as hide and seek, you know, with your friends, with them Axeman, then it became like, that was when it all sort of fell into place. So while we'd been trying it in different guises for a very long time, that was the bit that finally made sense with the technology, with everything. It was good.
So yeah, there are traces of this game, and we have concept art in the office and posters that date like 8 years back here, and there are like traces left of all these eras that passed by, which is great. But this version, this incarnation of the project started about 2.5, almost 3 years ago, let's say.
Yeah.
The first real prototype that we all looked at and went, yep, that's the thing, that one's gonna work. So that's about that. Can you play ranked mode with friends? No, because obviously it would be way too easy to just grind your levels and create disparities in
This
that.
is a competition at the end of the day, so
Yeah.
preserving that competition for everyone involved is very important to the ranked mode.
Yeah, not knowing who you're gonna face is critical to the stressful experience as a survivor.
Yeah. What else? Will there be? Someone was asking if the characters have specific abilities and things that are specific to them. Absolutely. So the survivors right now, each and every one of them is a unique person with their unique perks that they bring into the game.
Yeah, yeah. So they all have. So we have these 4 survivor characters, these 3 killers. All of these characters have their own unique abilities. They have 3 each. The really cool thing about it is that at some point in the progression, you will unlock the ability to teach those unique perks to the other characters. So when you progress a lot in the game, you have all these cards that you can use in your strategy to mess up with your opponent.
Someone was saying here, can I use a shovel and dig a hole and hide in it? I want to be a mole so bad.
It's on the list.
Okay.
Mole hiding.
Yes. What languages will the game support? So at launch, we will support EFIG, so that's English, French, Italian, German, and Spanish. That's at launch, but we intend to translate into as many languages as we possibly can as the days go by and the desires there from you guys. Yeah. Do we have any consideration for a murder rapist character? What they do on their holidays is not really
Only
no.
if there's a mole then.
So-
No,
No.
actually,
No.
to answer this seriously, one of the aspects of the old 80s movies that, I mean, we love these movies and they're a big part of the inspiration for this game. But one of the things we were trying to step away from is those cliches and those archetypes that have what we believe to be negative societal connotations, whether it's sexism, racism, these kinds of things. We didn't want to touch that. It would have been super easy to go for those cliches, but we didn't feel
exactly
like it.
right. I mean, at the end of the day, we're trying to create a stressful and fun multiplayer experience. And while horror can, of course, grab its stress from any number of different things, from torture and gore and everything like that, our version of stress is more about just when you play the game and see the game, you'll see what it is. It's more about that thrill of hide and seek, that thrill of being caught, about being grabbed and taken off. And while we do, of course, have elements of horror, we aren't diving headlong into the need or requirement to have sort of ultra gore or anything like that. I mean, we do have some, of course, but it's not the driving factor. And another thing involving the killers and our inspiration behind them is it was very important for us with the way that we want to do our killers, that we can take them from any particular genre. We didn't want to be limited to the real world or to the supernatural world or to any of the different pantheons of killers that existed. We wanted to basically rewrite our own lore and our own rules and have our own fiction in the game that could support any type of killer, in inverted commas, that we wanted. So, you know, if we want someone to have a totally crazy power, then we want to be able to do that. If it's fun, it's fun. If it goes in the game, that's our rule.
Yeah. Someone was asking, do you guys like horror films? Yes.
We do.
Most of us, and we each have our own specific preferences.
Unfriended. It's the best.
Unfriended?
Yeah, it's great.
I'd say my favorite's probably Cabin in the Woods.
That's a classic.
Oh, yeah,
And
that's a
what
classic.
about you?
Evil Dead, I'd say.
Oh, okay.
Evil
You
Dead.
go for old school
Evil Dead
stuff.
2.
Hipster. Okay, so someone was asking about the what? Yes, if the mask and the special stuff you get in the deluxe edition, will they be available after release? Possible. I don't know. Seriously, right now we're so just trying to wrap up the game and do all this. I mean, it's funny. And someone was asking also who we are. So just quickly,
Oh, yeah,
we're
do
the
that
dev
again.
team. I mean, we're
Yeah.
seriously, there's 30 of us total making this game. We don't have a lot of, like, we don't have a huge infrastructure here at Behavior for things like marketing, promotional stuff, whatever. It's just us talking to people and trying to make this happen. So for things like what's the marketing plan for the next 6 months, a year, it's a little fuzzy because we're sort of making shit up
doing it
as
now.
yeah, but that's it. We're making it together, going, I think this is gonna work, and hopefully, I mean, our community on Steam so far has been amazing. A lot of really cool people, supportive people, and we can sort of bounce our ideas off of folks and
incredible
get
feedback.
some
Yeah,
feedback.
that's good.
So depending on the reception, I mean, the idea is we want to keep the game alive for as long as people still want it. So we'll try to fill it up with more content, add more stuff as much as we can. We'll see what makes sense as we go along. If there
Absolutely.
are promotions and stuff like that, obviously because we're so close with Starbreeze, we're gonna have masks for payday and things like that, which is really cool. As they keep coming along, we'll have more masks that actually represent like killers and survivors and whatever else in the game. Yeah, that's it.
For sure. All right, what have we got next?
Ooh, I have someone here who asks a question in French.
Ooh.
Est-ce qu'on aura des leaderboards et des statistiques par rapport à nos amis et ennemis? You want to answer that in French?
En français, oui, bien sûr. Comme ça, la moitié du monde pourra pas, plus que la moitié du monde pourra pas comprendre.
C'est pas grave.
Ben, en fait, on a un système de ranking, de rang. Donc, tout à fait possible de comparer son rang avec ses amis, de savoir c'est qui est le meilleur. Évidemment, c'est skill-based, donc basé sur notre habilité à jouer. Et voilà. So, ranking system based on skill. So, of course, you can compare. It's a huge bragging right to go up in the ranks. Yeah, go up the rank. You're the best player. Going to be matched with the best players as well. So yeah, a lot of
I mean,
application on
it
that
is
side.
because it is such a. At some point, it becomes a skill-based game that you're going to want as a survivor to be taking on the best killers, and as a killer, you're going to want to take on best survivors. You don't want to put a true predator in with new players.
Yeah.
It tends to end pretty
Poorly.
So yeah, the higher you get up in your ranks and the longer you stay up there, the better the better experience you're going to have. It obviously goes towards our matchmaking and the way that works as well.
Yeah.
So the ideal would be is that top rank killers are with top rank survivors, and then the games are going to be excellent.
So someone was asking about performance improvements, all the options unlocked, settings and things like that. That's probably someone, I assume, that's in the alpha right now, because all of that is locked. We do have options, some at least. I mean, you're not gonna find the fine tuning that you may find in other games, just because so many of the visuals of the game have an extreme impact on the gameplay that we have to be very careful with what kind of tools we give people. But performance, right now we're doing a lot of the work on optimization and performance improvement, so that the people that meet the minimum requirements that we've put on the store page will be able to play the game at a reasonable frame rate, which is above 30. And the people who play on ultra settings with all the trimmings will find that the game looks gorgeous and also plays well.
I mean, we have what we
That makes
need for
sense.
now, but I think post-launch as well, if that becomes something that people really want and something that makes
sure.
sense, then we'll be looking at adding those features in later.
For sure.
What do we have here? Will there be an alpha session this weekend? Possibly.
Could be.
Probably we'll ask
Yeah.
the
The
Lord of the
gatekeeper.
Gate, yeah, the gatekeeper.
Yeah, from our point of view, we want one this weekend, but it's whether the gatekeeper allows us to play.
Do you? Well, I saw one pass real quick about the ranks. Do you lose rank if you play poorly? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you do.
Which one of you is called Faded on Steam? He added me the other day and now he's playing it. The Faded is one of our alpha testers. He's not part of the dev team, so that's not you. Where is Dave?
That's me.
That's one of the questions. Do you
a good
guys need
question.
any graphic designers? Not right now, but if anybody's interested, you can always contact Behavior Digital. We are always on the lookout for talented and enthusiastic people. Will there be a clown monster or like hunter thing? Clowns are scary shit. That is true.
That is true. Clowns are scary.
So, as Ash was saying earlier, there's so many things that are in the human psyche that people are scared of. We want to include them. I mean, obviously we can't have everything, but there are things that we all agree that we
Well-
want to go dig in and pluck these things that we know people will
I
find
think it's
scary.
fair to say there is not going to be a clown at launch.
For that's absolutely
That
sure.
is for sure.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Uh,
Because clowns are scary. And they would be good. They're not scary. They're
So
more
someone was asking, will there be Easter eggs?
like real ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
We do have an Easter, but no, I'm not supposed to talk
no,
about that.
no Easter bunny killers. Watch out.
There are
Well,
things to discover in the game, hidden things, yes.
Yeah, but if we tell you there's Easter eggs, that's
doesn't-
kind of ruining the whole thing, isn't it?
Dave just ruined the whole thing.
They're not Easter eggs, they're Valentine chocolate.
Valentine. Valentine orbs.
Yes, that makes sense. Do matches last long enough?
Yes.
That's yes.
They do. So I mean, it was always a question right from the
Well,
beginning.
someone was asking also if there is a timer at some point. So
Well, no, there is
No.
not a timer, and it's something we've held really, really strongly to, despite a lot of pressure. I mean, when you're doing an asymmetrical game that hasn't been paved with 50 versions beforehand, and you've got to make some pretty big decisions about how you want the game to play out. That there was being called for a timer to be in to curtail the length of matches, but the problem with it is that when you have a game where you say to 4 out of the 5 players that their game is all about stealth, about staying alive, about staying calm, about staying hidden, and then you say, yeah, do all those things, and you've got to do it in 5 minutes. It's just counterintuitive to the entire gameplay experience.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, when a game goes long, it's because it's 1v1, and
it's
it's,
usually or like the last or the 2 last survivors.
exactly. I mean, the game mechanics are designed so that the killer will come across survivors if there's more than 3 of them left, or 3 or 4 of them in the map. I mean, it's how the whole game is designed to work. So we're not so worried in that situation. But in the case of a 1-on-1 or a 1-on-2, when survivors can be really good and they can stay very hidden and be very clever and get very lucky, then games can go long. But in those moments,
Yeah, but
you know,
even then, I think that we played a lot. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
for
fair to
sure.
say we've played a lot. I don't think I've ever seen a game go over 30 minutes.
no.
No,
But-
it's an average of 10 minutes, and the games do get longer as people get more experience.
Yeah.
Also, the really cool thing about Dead by Daylight, when you're playing the rank mode and as a survivor, as soon as you get killed, which could be a minute, could be 10 minutes, could be when maybe you survive and it's longer, but if you get killed in the first minute, you can stay behind and spectate and look at how the game plays for the others to learn strategies, or you can just leave and go find another game right away.
Yeah. Can you have 2 people ranked together if they're both survivors? So I'm not exactly sure. Pantqua 666. I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. Maybe I should pick questions that I understand.
Well, I don't know. It was a
Maybe.
good try.
All right. Yeah, so we're really behind. Scrolled up on chat. No, I'm trying to keep one window of we're 5-6 minutes behind. Okay, so what are the weapons like for the killer? What killers do we have at launch? 20 seconds.
We have 3 killers. There's the Trapper, the Wraith, the Hillbilly.
What do they attack with?
A Cleaver, a Skull Axe, and... Oh, don't do that.
Sorry.
And a hammer, a Slaughter Hammer.
Yeah.
Some kind
Sledgehammer.
of brutal
Right.
melee thing.
And
Right.
that's their weapon, not their power.
And their power is the real weapon.
Okay. Oh, okay. Can me and one friend queue together for a ranked game, or do we have to queue separately and hope to get in the same ranked game? That's a very good question.
Yeah.
Take that on.
So
Oh boy.
yeah. So this was a feature that we know was absolutely critical, and it won't be ready for launch. We basically had a choice to make between 2 different types of modes that we wanted to support. The Kill Your Friends mode that lets you and a group of friends get together and play a kind of fun version of the game, where you can pick who's the killer, you can take turns, you can play games together, having fun on a Friday night and just having fun. It was that mode, or it was the mode that allows friends to travel cooperatively through the experience together. it's something that we consider an absolute necessity. That sadly, both were necessary, and we decided to pick the Kill Your Friends mode for launch, and the other one will be following on soon after.
Yeah, that's the important part. Is that we plan on having the other mode as soon as we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you plan Russian localization? There's been a few questions about that. I mean, we can see already through the wish list editions and things like that that Russia is interested, and
For
it's
sure.
a big market. So yeah, it's part of the list of the things we want. So yeah,
As soon as possible.
absolutely. We have obviously. Any plans for some tasty Dwight merch? Well, that would be really cool.
That would be cool.
I mean, Dwight is good. I think Meg is my favorite, but that's just me. Yeah, so that was the question. What is your favorite character out of the survivors and killers? Yeah, I'd say Meg.
Meg.
Yeah.
Jake.
Jake?
Can't help it.
It's the beard, huh?
Of course, it's the beard.
It's the beard. Okay.
For killers, I have to say that's so tough to choose.
For me, it's the rate.
Yeah, the raid.
The
is
rates
pretty
for the
cool.
jump scares. It's
Trapper.
so much fun.
Trapper, because I'm not actually very good at killing, so I need to use the traps to catch everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, okay, I'll take the other guy then.
Yeah.
He's cool as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's good. Can you kill the killer?
No.
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 He is brutal, and if you go near him, bad things will happen.
So the very fun thing to see also is one of the driving points of this game from the beginning was to create emotions in the player.
Yeah.
And when you're playing the survivor, it's all about being freaked out, being scared, and panicking, and feeling hope, and then that hope being crushed, and these kinds of things. When you're the killer, you are never threatened. You are never scared. But you can be annoyed.
Oh, yeah,
you
be
can be
frustrated.
frustrated, and you can feel offended sometimes that those little piggies
You can-
running
you
around
can swear.
there to literally get in the way of you doing what you're
Sure.
supposed to be doing. It's unbearable.
And getting that balance right was really important.
Yeah. Can you change perspective view between first and third person?
No.
We do get that question a lot.
Yeah, it's
on the
true.
forums, and we did discuss this amongst ourselves, and no, not for release. Maybe as a super hard mode at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, the important thing is that we've balanced the game so that the third person view of the survivor is necessary. Like it is one of your power, one of your tools. And people are concerned on the forum that this makes the situation less stressful and immersive. And
it's
no,
true.
anybody who's tried the alpha can tell you that no, in the third person view, it is stressful and you are immersed in the world.
And
you
even,
will get scared.
Yeah, even back at the prototyping phase, we came up with this question. I mean, it's counterintuitive to do it the way we did it. Tradition says it should have been the killer in third person, the survivors in first person, because it's more stressful. But you know, we tried it, but only for a little bit, because it was clear that it was fine as it was, and it was what we wanted. And that, as Dave said, that getting that balance of the power of the survivor to be able to get the extra awareness around them was kind of key to the game. I mean, it doesn't mean that we won't do it at some point. It's just that now the game is balanced for it. So that's how it works now. But the more we think about it, maybe it's not going to be a terrible thing to allow people the choice. Choice is always good. Yeah. So we'll look at it as we launch.
Will you have some sort of an anti-cheat at launch? Absolutely. We're adding that right now. I was just talking to our technical director that is working on integrating some anti-cheat mumbo jumbo that I don't understand, but it's very good.
So
I hear.
technical and super frightening.
Yeah, no, it's super important. Do I have to play solo rank to level up and unlock perks and items?
Yes.
That's not exactly the description I'd give of the mode, but you have to play the main game the way it's meant to be
progress.
played to enjoy the progression.
For the Kill Your Friends mode, you can bring your items that you've
Yes.
collected from that mode into playing with your friends, but you can't earn new things from playing with your friends.
Or
Yeah.
lose things.
Or
So
lose
as soon
things
as
as
you go
well.
in that kill your friends mode, you basically
I mean,
lock everything.
Would you want to explain a little bit about how you lose items in the game? And
Yes, so there's so
No,
that's
he's doing
that's really important. So as part of the progression, anything that you buy with the points that you will get out of the matches, like items, for example. When you use items and you go in the game, if you die, well, you will lose these items. And the opposite, if you find items in the match and you manage to escape as a survivor, then you can keep these items. So bank them.
Don't die.
So yeah,
Don't
you do
die.
get progression even if you lose,
Yes.
but you will have a negative consequence to losing.
Yeah.
That's it.
The perks are permanent, so as soon as you unlock them, you will keep them forever. And we also have offerings, which are special objects that modify how the levels are played. And these guys are consumed as soon as you start the match.
We had a question here. Are there plans with other developer companies to get some more known killers in the game? So, I mean, obviously we're fans of many things.
Like we said, the game is designed to support any type of killer that we choose to find from wherever to put in the game. So we have our launch killers. That's dictated by the coolness of the powers that they have. That's what we thought would be best for launch, and then from here on in, we'll do what we can to keep supporting it.
One of the things, though, is that we want to make sure that we create our own fiction, our own world, our own story before we add other things in, because we don't want to dilute what we are. We need to create an identity before we can add other players in.
I saw there was a question there, just sorry, that said we should make it so that we can play with one friend or something. I just want to be clear that our Kill Your Friend modes lets you play with 5 friends.
No, but you can also play with one friend.
Or you could play with one friend. So that mode is designed to be set up for you to have fun with your friends. That's its exact purpose. So we do support that. Maybe not in the way that we're in the specific way that people are asking for it in that case, but this mode is designed for you to have fun with your friends. That's exactly its purpose.
Are you allowed to talk about the hatch? Yes.
Okay.
The
Yes,
hatch.
we are allowed to talk about
Do
it.
you mean
Next question.
Yes,
it's a mysterious hack?
it is mysterious.
It's very mysterious.
How scary would this game be in VR? Probably too scary, I believe.
I think we tried it and I had to stop.
Yeah. So we do have a VR room set up here because it's fucking awesome.
It is.
And the game would lend itself to something like that in some ways, but not in the way it is right now, because it just, you could
Well-
not play for more than 10 minutes, I think, without.
And to be honest, like, I mean, it's obviously in our mind. Obviously, to say we haven't looked at it or prototyped it to some
would be a
degree
lie.
would be a
A
lie.
bold-faced
a
lie.
really big lie. But we do not want to distract ourselves from shipping this game right now. And ultimately, what we need to do to get this thing working in VR would be more than is required for us to be able to derail any part of our team to do that right now. So it's obviously in our thoughts and our plans, but that's for the future.
Are we going to be able to play as Chuckles once the game comes out? The store page says there are 3 killers, but none of them is Chuckles. There's a very good reason for that.
There is.
Because Chuckles is not one of our killers.
Yeah. Yeah, Chuckles. Yeah, Chuckles is a name that we give one of our killer.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a pet name,
Yeah,
and it's
that's
not
it.
a real name.
no, that's
Yeah.
it.
It comes from somewhere else. What
Almost
happened to
a
the secret character everyone found in the alpha? Ooh, I don't know that one. I have
one?
no
I
idea
didn't
who
find
that.
it.
Who
Yeah,
was.
I know.
So,
I know about this. So
PFC Tink. Tink?
Perfect think. I think he
We-
plays.
Yeah. Well, if you can explain who that character is, then
I know
Oh,
exactly
you know
what he's
that.
talking
Okay.
about. Yeah. I mean, players are super clever. They go in pack files and they go find
Yeah, they
things
do.
that they're not supposed to. But we know about this.
That's
so
fine.
so they've seen things, and they're talking about the Banshee. So the Banshee is also a code name for one of our killers. Is actually in the game. He's one of the 3 killers that you see. He's one of the 3.
Oh,
That's it.
yeah.
That's it.
That's not his real name. They all had code names because code names are cool.
Well, it turns out code names became real names.
Yeah.
Because they went data mine.
We don't know how to do this. We're just
Well, no, we
making
are, but
shit up.
it's like, where are they? It's like, I don't know, they never, or do they all exist? It's
Do you
very
speak
hard.
Russian?
No.
Not every day.
No. I know Dobro.
Okay, I don't know that. I'm sorry.
And that's probably, actually,
I wish
that's
I
not
did,
Russian.
though, and I'd like to, and
Well.
we'll do our best to
Yes.
try and remedy this entire Russian situation as soon as possible, because I know it's going to be a cool market for us.
What do we have? Is Banshee going to be in the next alpha session? No.
No.
No. How do you like Starbreeze so far? Would you collaborate with them again? That's a very good question. So, working with Starbreeze, I mean, when we were at the beginning of the project, we were looking at a few different ways to get this off the ground and make sure that this project would actually exist. We looked at a few people, and then we ended up, for some reason, talking about Starbreeze internally. And obviously the fact that they did Payday, which is a very close kind of thing, it's a small scale multiplayer game, it's sort of mature subjects, the kind of company also Overkill is very like indie developer kind of thing. So the DNA of those two teams, us and them, felt very close. Yes, you're right. Dobro means good in Croatian or Serbian. I had a delightful Serbian friend that taught me a few things. She also taught me that Dushku Dugushku is Bugs Bunny. So that's got nothing to do with it. We are so far having a blast working with Starbreeze.
For sure.
They get what we're trying to do, and the thing that they do very well is get out of our way. They saw that we had something really cool. They believed that the project was good. They met the team and they said, I think you guys will be able to do something great with this. And they essentially said, okay, now the best thing we can do is not get in your way. You've got something good, you know what you're doing, we'll just help you get this off the ground. And they do provide a lot of great advice because they have experience in things we haven't done before, and there's a bunch of hardcore gamers in that company, and they know what they want to see, and then they say, hey, how about this? And we go, yeah, we tried that, it didn't work, so let's move on. Anyway, we would work with them in the future, for sure. I mean, we're having a blast right now, and we're living the dream. We're able to make a game that we think is awesome, and yeah. But seriously.
It's what we spend all our time in this industry, and the chance to work on an original product is the best thing you can possibly ever ask to do.
Yeah.
And it's great to be able to do something like this.
Is the game allow you to be killer every round, or will it make you cycle between killer and survivor?
Yeah, so no, it's important to us to leave the choice to you. So at every round you decide which one you want to play.
This comes back to another one of those decisions you have to make right at the beginning.
Yeah.
And, again, there's been a lot of calls for people to say, oh, we have to have so many killers and so many survivors. But when you look and play this game, you'll realize just how different the two different sides play. And it's really important for us, again, in the choice department, that the player gets to choose what they want to do.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, it's a real risk in some regards, saying we don't know how it's going to play out, but we anticipate exciting things.
Are these Q&A sessions, community sessions, going to be a regular thing?
Let's
We
see.
didn't know 5 minutes ago. Well, actually, probably an hour ago. We're like, I don't know, hopefully someone will show up and be interested.
Yeah, sure.
There seems to be some interest right now, and we kind of like doing this.
Yes.
So yeah, we'll do more.
Yeah,
So
let's-
we'll take some polls and things like that on Twitter or in Steam, asking what if you guys want us to prepare something so that we have things to show. If we have special guest stars, that's
Yeah.
not you, but
No, I
we
know.
could have a special guest star right here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
we could do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also play the game,
How hard will it be for a player to reach last rank? Very, like very hard.
Yes.
And it's funny because it's the kind of thing that you go to QA. We have a group of really good QA here embedded in the team. We also have external QA, but you get to them and you go, oh, by the way, we have an achievement for this ridiculous kind of performance. We have to test to see if it works. And they're like, okay. And-
It's a hard game, so
Yeah.
of course ranking up to the legendary rank 1 is going to be insanely tough.
And of course, you're playing real people, so there's no way for us to actually tell how hard that's going to be. It depends how good the people you're playing at the end of the day are. And at the higher ranks, we expect it to be a pretty spicy encounter.
So Suggestive here said, Dave is special.
This is probably true.
You are very perceptive. Dave is special. Will there be Steam Workshop support? Not at launch. it's I mean, we have a bucket that we keep around the office with all the stuff that we go, oh, that we absolutely need to have
we
that.
must have
And then
Steam Workshop.
someone comes back and says, yeah, but we also need to be able to put people on meat hooks. And we go, yeah, right after that one. So the Steam is an amazing platform that offers a lot of really cool stuff. And we're going to leverage a lot. So there was a question earlier also about the trading cards and badges and things like that. That we are going to have. So we're going to have full Steve achievements.
Steve achievements are my favorite.
Steve trading cards.
I think we just created
Steve
it.
badges.
It's our new survivor.
Yeah, there you go. So badges, trading cards, achievements. There's something I forgot.
No, that's it.
Okay.
A game also? The game's
Yeah,
gonna
the
be on
game is
Steve.
actually going to be on Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Steve.com.
Can we get Killer as a guest star?
I don't
That
know.
might not be impossible.
Could happen.
Seriously, I will ask Georgia about
Yeah,
this.
let's see if we can arrange that.
Okay. Do you have or had other games in addition to this?
Ever?
If you're talking about the company behavior, yes, then you can do a quick little wiki search, and you'll see that Behavior has been making games for about 25 years, something like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Dave has been here for most of it, and yeah, we've shipped many games here for many different reasons. So I mean, the bread and butter of this company has been, for the most part, like work for hire, licensing deals, games for movies, TV, whatever, other people, a lot. And then later, the last few years, a lot of it has been also about helping really big companies ship their AAA, fourth A titles.
Yeah.
A lot of them we can't really talk about, and that's it. Through these years, we always played game and wanted to do our own games, and opportunities didn't arise that many times. We've tried a few things, but now we had an opportunity to do our own thing, and it's gonna become something in this company. The Behavior digital logo that's there, I think. Anyway, is that part of the company that actually will be making games for ourselves, self-publishing, more or less, with partners, but yeah. So Warhammer 40k Eternal
Oh.
Crusade is the other one.
Will there be a prestige system?
Yes, there will be a prestige system, and it looks badass.
But it does.
It does.
So there. So hackers getting involved. Yeah, we have things in place against that.
Yep, we're going to do our best. Again, we'll react as appropriately moving forward. We've got our plans, so we've got our future plans, and we'll see how it goes. But we know its potential, and I guess we'll face it like everyone has to and deal with it. But hopefully our contingencies are at least in place.
How do you handle disconnected players in the final release?
All right, so very quickly about that one. When a player disconnects, the player still in the game will have a score, accordingly. So of what is going on right now. We will not penalize disconnection right away, but if we see that it becomes a problem in the future, we will address it as it comes.
How brutal do you want this game to be, gore-wise and torture-wise? So that we had many conversations
Yeah,
about
we
that.
kind of touched on it a bit earlier as well. I mean, this game's fear is essentially stress. I mean, that's
Yeah.
the best way to describe the game that we're trying to create.
True.
It's in terms of your average gore movie and torture porn movie. This is not going to register in that scale particularly. It's not.
No.
That's not necessarily. I mean, the themes that we are dealing with are incredibly violent and aggressive, and it's it's in concept disturbing, but the actual acts are like, it's not about that. I mean, when you play and see the game and experience the game, you'll realize what it is we're going for, and it's more about regular moments of increased and decreased stress over the course of the game. We want your heart to beat and then relax and then go faster and then go slower and then go faster and then go slower. And those curves go together to make something that's quite unique within the space. And that's where we're going with. And the gore side of it is it comes as part of it in certain parts of our game, and it's not as insane and intense as it potentially could be.
Yeah, I mean, not showing like the more you suggest the violence, the more intense usually it is.
It's horses for courses. Some horror fans, yeah, it's
Horses
great.
for courses.
Horses for courses. It's
Of course.
extremely well-known expression.
Obviously.
But it's like some people's version of horror is all about the gore. That's exactly what it's all about, and that's fine. That's the type of horror, and it exists. And then there's other types.
Can I punch another survivor when he breaks the generator?
You wish you could,
If
but
you
no.
were next to them, you could be.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have occasionally reached across the office and thrown
Here,
a
yes,
headset
at the
at
office,
someone.
we've had that. But no.
I've also been punched for
Uh,
missing the generator skill check.
I need standard pre-order or deluxe? You need deluxe.
Well, obviously,
Yeah, I think that's pretty
it's
clear.
still a great value.
No, the
proposition.
deluxe one gives you the beta keys.
Yeah,
First
yeah,
of all,
for
there's
start.
also a really cool art book that's gonna come with it. A soundtrack, so
Yeah.
the music that feeds your nightmares
nice.
will be able to be part of your daily routine. That's great for the gym.
Cool.
Feeling like you're being chased by a murderous nightmare is great for the gym.
Yeah, when you
I'm
need
just
it.
saying. So someone kept asking who are the best alpha players.
Well, us. No, this is
No,
not
seriously,
true.
we have a
seen-
few people now that are just
Yeah,
mad.
I was doing a leaderboard for a while, but we had some issues with our metric system that caused me to not do it. But we were tracking all the players during the alpha. That was part of the purpose of the alpha, and there were some crazy players out there.
Tell you what, we'll find the names and
I'll tell you that'll be
we'll,
the first of our 4 next time session. We'll do a full recap of everyone who's played the game so far, and I will do a top 10 survivor or top 5 survivor and killer leaderboard since the beginning of time, because some people have logged some hours.
yeah. Dave, do you like wolves and will you make a werewolf killer?
Hey, maybe. I mean, that would be pretty cool. I do like wolves.
All right.
Just for fun.
Do you guys think you'll leave your own personal marks and add yourselves in as survivors or killers?
That would be great as well. I want to be the werewolf.
Well, I got to be honest. I have my mark. I'm fine.
Yeah.
So if you find it, that's great.
Yeah.
Anyone who's in the
Well,
forum earlier will.
Yeah.
will
Yeah,
have
that's
seen
yeah.
that.
Someone said Clive is OP. Please nerf. Yes, Clyde is OP. We will not nerf.
Yeah.
We will murf him.
High rank killers
Sorry.
are the best.
Okay. Is the ultimate trophy in game a Putin? No, these
wish.
things. I mean, these things don't travel well by Wi-Fi.
No.
Just you have to come here to Montreal. If you do show up here at the office and say, "Hey, I want to claim my Putin," we will not offer you a free Putin, but it's very likely that we will go out and get one and sit down with you and chill and talk about the game.
That'd be
so
nice.
you're welcome to come by. Are there going to be some big changes in the next alpha session? Yes.
Yeah, alpha is mostly about scoring at the moment. So do your best to get the biggest score, and we receive data about this, so we can balance.
So yeah, the alpha is still it's still running independently of the final product and the beta. So it's still got. It's not got a lot of big update changes.
No, so yeah, an important thing to understand is that implementing a feature from the dev build, so the latest build that we work with, into the alpha build is really time consuming at this point. So we don't want to spend any time at this point in the schedule, spend time to get these features in the alpha. We really want to focus on making the beta ready and the game as polished as possible.
Will there? What is that? Am I the only one from Brampton? Yes. Yes, you are.
That's official.
Yeah.
We've decided.
What is the projected date of the beta? May 31st. Very close. And yes. Why do you use Dell computers? Because that's what IT gave us.
That's what they give us.
So there.
Should we have put stickers on the front? In case
Are we allowed to stream once
The
the
alpha?
beta comes out? Beta, yes.
The beta you can absolutely stream, and the alpha people will automatically be in the beta, so yes. And there will not be an alpha build going on when we get to the beta.
No, we're just
So
going to swap straight
from
over.
May 31st, all bets are off. Is that the yeah? Okay. What else do we got? Are there any plans to put 3D positional voice chat in the game? So the voice chat in the game was a big another big back and forth point of contention for us. We wanted people to be able to communicate because it fosters cooperation and things like that. But
Well, I'll tell you two things
Yeah,
about
go.
the voice communication that we had. One, we had it in for a while. The first point, though, is the one thing that's guaranteed to break the sense of immersion that we've created is the wrong person talking to you on your microphone. So that's the primary
Yeah.
reason why we don't want to have voice chat in the game. We know that we play multiplayer games. We know that if you want to talk to your friends and have a conversation with them while you're playing a game, you're going to default to your own system that you already have. There are plenty of systems out there that let you chat with your friends. So it came down to a question as to whether we wanted strangers to be able to communicate in the game. And with the overwhelming desire of not having the wrong person there, we decided not to do it. Along with that, as I said, we actually had it in for a while, and without sounding ridiculous, no one used it. And again, it's very hard for you to understand until you play the game, that because a game that demands you be quiet and stealthy, and there's lots of stressful events and noises happening, it just is counterintuitive to speak. And while obviously there's value to being able to communicate as a team, we expect friends to communicate as they want, and we expect strangers to work together in symbiosis.
ooh, yes.
I don't think that works.
No, I do not have any Dead by Daylight tattoos yet.
We could draw one.
Will you be making invisible killers? Well, technically you worded it in the future tense, therefore maybe.
Well, if you check our Dev Diary 3 and go right to the end, if listening to us is really very bothersome, then that'll give you a clue.
What else do we have here? Will there be any kind of ranking tournaments? You can talk a little more about the
Season.
rankings, the season system.
Yeah, so as we said earlier, there is a ranking system. There is one rank for the survivor and one rank for the killer. So you have these two roles that are separate online ranking. You can go up these ranks if you're awesome. You will go down if you have poor games. And once a month, we reset the rank of everybody in a specific range. So if you're really high rank, you won't go down to the bottom. And then you have to play again to get to the top. So each month we reset like that. So each month you can go for rank number 1.
So who's this? Victor 7 Games. We don't try to ignore you. There's just a lot of stuff flying by. You are not able to upgrade from deluxe from regular to deluxe. So yeah, unfortunately, if you purchased the regular edition, you have the regular edition. I strongly suggest you give it to someone deserving and get yourself a deluxe version.
Absolutely.
That's my advice. The game is scaring me. Well, that happens.
I hope in a good way.
Job well done. The text chat?
Yeah.
Okay,
So yeah, You can. There is a text chat in the lobby just before the game, so that you can prepare a plan and coordinate. Is that the word?
Coordinate.
Coordinate. Thank you. So to enter the match with the proper tools, so that someone goes in with the med kit, someone goes in with the toolbox, someone has the specific perks to scout, things like that. So you are able to prepare a plan. The killer cannot see that chat and cannot chat with the survivor unless you're in the kill your friends mode.
A great question here by Fast Hip. Fast Hip. Okay.
Yeah.
Why is this game hard?
Because okay, so the game is hard by virtue of the rules that we created to start with. So the survivor has no ability to fight this monstrous thing that's hunting them through the world. So the only thing that they have to their advantage is the ability to use the environment and stay hidden. When you're playing a real person, it's impossible for us to curate the experience in terms of making the AI a little bit easier or making their vision mode a little bit harder to spot you. In this game, it's a pure game of cat and mouse. So if a killer is really good, it's going to be really hard for an average or worse survivor. And there's nothing we will do about it either. Part of the fun of the game is real people playing each other, and it's a bit like stepping onto a real sports field and expecting, it to be easy. If you're playing against someone who's played before, then you're in trouble. It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I was pointing and laughing because DV2 was asking bad behavior. Why are you asking questions? Probably because he has questions, or maybe because he's a plant that we didn't put there. He should be working right now.
Maybe that's why he's asking questions. It's like, you've been away a long time. And
No, it's because he worked on a feature that people don't necessarily understand, and he wants to make sure that people can appreciate his hard work. His question was, can you explain the difference between level and rank?
Yeah,
which is
actually,
valid.
very important question. So ranking, online rank is all about competition, compares you to other player skill levels. While the level per character in the game is only about progression. So as you get points in the game and you buy perks and items, you will level up. So it shows the progress of your character and how long you've been playing.
So Indie Respawn asked, hey, we know that guy.
Yeah, where do we know that from?
Oh, isn't he a friend of Mr. Varas? Senor Varas, I
Could
believe.
well be. Hello.
Anyway, not sure if this was asked, but what are all your favorite play styles? Who likes Survivor or Killer?
Survivor.
What kind of Survivor are you?
Oh, I am the sort of survivor who will always come and rescue you and die. Every single time, always.
Yeah.
Thank you for sacrifice.
Yeah.
And it's a sacrifice.
What about you?
Oh, I just like to murder people.
Yeah, he's really good at it too. I'm more a survivor type. I either go kind of alone, or I will be the sabotage expert and mess up the tools of the killer.
I'm trying really hard to be more selfish, but I just find it really tough. Even when I get to the exit, I will always stop and turn around. I don't I'm trying to learn from Alex to just abandon everyone every time, but
Well, you do need those points.
I don't.
Yeah.
I want those points.
You guys are funny. No. Ashes.
I'm not.
This game has story. That is not correct syntax, but we will answer it nonetheless. And we had a few other questions about the fiction behind and the lore and all these things. So yes, take it away.
So we have a fiction. It obviously being a multiplayer game is not a fiction that we're gonna just lay out in a traditional narrative way. To some degree, with some of the marketing and the Facebook pictures and the posts that we've done, has started to give out little elements of that narrative as we go forward. It's also something that we'll continue to do after launch as we start explaining the locations and the killers and why they're all there. For those of you that have seen stuff in the game, you'll see that there's this reference to this monstrous entity that's linked to the hook. That's all part of the fiction as well. It's something that we want to explore moving forward. We obviously have a wealth of stuff in our mind that we want to do, and through reading the different descriptions and of the items and the offerings in the game, you'll start to put together an idea of what's going on in this crazy world we created.
Yeah. I want to say here there was something good. What are the system requirements? Go check the store page. You need a computer. And there's a few other things. What else? How does the game handle high ping? Well, we need someone technical
Yeah,
to
we
talk
can't
about
answer.
this.
That's
So
one of
we'll
those
have
ones-
someone technical
We'll
next
have a
time.
guest.
Can you please show some gameplay now, please? No.
No.
Not right now. We'll maybe have something next time, but for now you can go and check. There's a teaser gameplay thing on our YouTube channel. There's a link somewhere. That priest is saying, "I'm going to your studio to talk about the game and eat a poutine."
Don't no. You okay, Poutine? What was the end of that going to be? You're going to make it.
So yeah, please do.
Tomorrow is all right. Yes, except tomorrow is Friday, and Friday in the office, it's a formal Friday.
Yeah, so bring a tie.
Yeah.
Put on a tie.
Or two.
And come in. And no, seriously, I come to the office. I'm crying.
So emotional.
That's it. At 3, Matt.
Matt explodes.
Yeah. What about Dev Diary 4? It's coming.
coming.
We're working on
It's
it.
coming.
Actually, if we weren't here right now doing this,
I would
we'd
say-
be working on
It would be
it.
done, but it isn't.
Yeah.
But it's nearly done.
Uh,
And you can learn
yes,
about the
the
blood weapon.
NDA is going to be lifted on May 31st. I think we're running out of time. We said an hour. I feel like we should stop, but I
Shut
kind of
it
don't
off.
want there.
You exploded.
Yeah. So do you have more environments planned for the game? Yes. I'm laughing. I'm crying. Oh, hashtag save Mathieu. Thank you.
Okay, good.
He's gonna be fine.
You noticed we
gonna be
didn't,
fine. It's a
we
bit-
didn't
yeah.
try and say.
Actually, we do have to stop. We need to
Yeah.
get back to work.
Oh.
But I mean, we're gonna do this next week,
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
and
Absolutely.
Be there.
please follow so that you have the update. You know when we're coming online.
Yeah. What else we got to say here?
Nothing.
Do you have a pleasant thought for people?
No.
Maybe a very wise quote?
No,
No.
I'd
If that was going to happen, I needed preparation.
I'd say my favorite. I'd say the only normal people are people you don't know very well.
That's probably right. I'm going to think about it a bit.
all right.
Come back to it.
Shut this down.
Yeah, shut it off. Shut it off.
Okay, bye.
Thank
Oh,
you.
great.